So a quick little story about this Lego set. This is Obi Wan Kenobi Starfighter from 2002. I believe it's Lego set 7143. Now, I bought this when I was a kid. I was probably 10 years old. And at the time, I wasn't super huge into Lego. Like, I had a couple sets, but mostly I collected like the Hasbro action figures and that sort of thing. However, I did build this one and I did play with it for a while. And for whatever reason, I decided to just completely and totally take it apart. And what's funny about that is that was 20 years ago. And I put it in 2 or 3 different boxes, which some of those boxes ended up at my mother's house, my grandmother's house, and my dad's house. A little over a year ago, I just moved into my apartment here. And so I went through my storage unit because I had all of my boxes consolidated. And so a friend of mine, we got together and we started going through all of my boxes, and he started gathering my Lego pieces, which all ended up inside this little bag here. Like, you can see like a random Ewok glider wing or whatever. Like, there was a bunch of random stuff. Gungan, Falumpaset, glide, whatever, you know, just all that stuff. And my friend ended up convinced that this Jedi Starfighter was in this pile of Legos. So what he did was he pulled up the manual for this online and he started sifting through all of this. And aside from the cockpit, aside from the shield or the little glass bubble, aside from that, everything is here. The minifigure is here. All of his accessories are there. All of the pieces, everything is still here. And it's just insane to me that over 20 years, moving 3 or 4 different times in different towns, cities, different houses, that over all of that time, all of this is still intact, which is just amazing. I have to thank him. He really came through for me on this. And for being 20 years old, it looks amazing. I mean, I think that technically means it's vintage now, right? If something hits 20 years old, it becomes vintage, I think is what the rule is. And this happened over the summer, which was also just ironically the 20-year anniversary of Attack of the Clones. Meaning that I just had to buy the new one that came out this year. I haven't opened it yet, but it'll just be cool to have both of these side by side and compare them. It already looks like this one will be a little more flat compared to this new one. And as for this Starfighter itself, it's pretty durable. I mean, it's still pretty much in good shape. There's only one thing that's a little bit weird about it is the landing gear at the bottom. I don't know if it was like this when I first bought it. You have to be really careful. Like, if I sit it down too hard, it just... yeah, it barely works at all. In the back. In the front, it's pretty good, but otherwise, I am extremely happy that I got this back. I thought this thing was lost forever. If any of you have any cool stories about that with your toys, it doesn't even have to be Lego or even Star Wars. I'd just love to know if any of you had toys from your childhood that you thought were long gone and then ended up finding. Like, if you have any cool stories like that, please share them in the comments. I would love to hear them. Now, I don't typically make videos about Lego or toys, really. I just make random videos about Star Wars stuff that I find interesting. So if you're cool with that, definitely subscribe. I'd really appreciate that because I'm just a few hundred away from 1,000, which is crazy. It would definitely be amazing if I could hit that before this year is over with. But thanks again for watching. Take care and have a great day.